Today's the day. My pups. Hey y'all, so what do you think? I told you she's getting some color, right? Trying out this new gimbal thing where I can move around, but it keeps my camera kind of straight. So let me walk around here and I'll get y'all a little bit closer look at the texture. What do y'all think of that? You get a close up of the texture. So I Raptor lined it blue and black. There's the windshield frame. The blue is they call it reflex blue. It's very bright. It reminds me like an old Ford blue, and I really like that color. So the original plan was to Raptor line the fenders, rock sliders, and the rear flares, but I was kind of running close on not having enough black, so I just went with doing the grill. The grill turned out really good, and I freshened up the bumpers and everything, sliders, fenders, rear flares. I finished all that up in some flat black. All these little trim pieces, just retouched them up in some flat to make it all match. They didn't need it at all, but these hinges, it's actually this blue underneath it. I used a satin black spray paint, kind of covered that up. Did the mirrors, they turned out really good. Roll bar turned out really good. Check out the floor. Oh, and check out that line. I mean, son, I'm very, very pleased with how this turned out. It turned out very, very good. All right, y'all. So, how do you think she turned out? I am just beyond thrilled with it. I didn't know how well it was gonna go when I started to spray it, because I did the inside first. I did the black, and the regulator on the gun, I don't know if I just don't know what I'm doing with it, or if it was kind of weird. But so everybody sets their regulators up at about, for the texture I wanted, about 40 to 50 psi. So that's what I set the regulator at, and it wouldn't spit any of the liner out. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on with this thing? Well, I got kind of tired of it, so I just held the trigger wide open and kept moving that regulator up until it started to actually spray some. So whenever I would let off of the trigger, it was reading like 140 psi, which is way too much. But whenever you'd sprayed it, actually read, I think I was spraying it like 45 psi. So whenever you're setting up your rate, or whenever you're setting everything up, go ahead, hook your airline up. Do not put a bottle on it yet to get your correct PSI you want to spray at. Hold down the trigger and adjust your regulator to whatever PSI you want, and then that's where you're going to be spraying at. This is my first time ever painting anything with a spray gun, so there you go. I added some more lights. The old pods, they made a comeback. So now I have all sorts of light. New headlights. Oh, I love them things. Major facelift. As y'all know, I painted the engine bay. I did it in black. I didn't Raptor line it, I just did it in a flat. Refinished the wheel wells in flat black, just kind of freshened them up. Kind of sprayed some of my suspension components in some flat black. So it's all clean and all matching. One thing I added was my passenger mirror. So I had to get new door hinges, and now I have 2 mirrors on it again. So it's really nice to have all that. Man, did some other little touches. I sprayed my D-rings in that reflex blue. They're actually coated. I don't know how well you can tell on camera. There we go. I sprayed them really heavy. That way it would kind of isolate it a little bit. If there's some wind noise, I'm sorry, y'all. It got windy out here for no good reason. All right, so I moved it inside the shed here because that wind out there, I don't think you'll be able to hear me that well. So, how much did it take to do? I bought a 4-liter kit of the black, and I bought a 6-liter kit of the blue. Now, I have 2 bottles left of the blue. I used all the black. If you want to finish like bumpers, trim parts, things like that in black, you'll want to get an extra liter or 2. The 4-liter kit was, just perfect enough to do all the inside of the tub, do the roll bar, windshield frame, and the front grille. And I actually had a little bit left over. So if y'all want to see me spraying that, check out the video before this. Put it in up here somewhere maybe. Let's see, what else? All right, took 4 liters to do the outside in the blue. And I actually had, technically it was 3.5. I had a half a bottle left over. I guess it's because I have so much stuff on it that I didn't really need to spray that much. And that stuff covers very well. I figured I'd have to do, 3 or 4 coats to cover up that gray. And in 2 coats, it was pretty much covered. I haven't found any light spots in it yet, so that's good. But that stuff is so easy to spray. I believe that my kids could do it. It's very easy, very forgiving. It's nothing like spraying car paint at all. I went really heavy, especially with the black on the inside, because I want to make sure it was good and covered and protected. One thing I wish I would have freshened up was my dang seats. Because now looking at it, it's kind of grimy, but you get what you get. So that turned out really well. I got the inside of my door jambs. They're blue, so whenever the doors are off, it looks really good. Paint lines. One thing I will say about this stuff, if you want good sharp lines, like what I've got right there, what I did was I used just regular old Scotch Blue painter's tape, sprayed it really heavy, and then whenever I got done spraying, I immediately removed the tape. That gave it that really good crisp line. Just have to be really careful with it and make sure you don't mess up anything else. All right, y'all. So it's actually really cold. It's like 38 degrees right now. So I'm going to take the Jeep back up to the house, and I've got a list of things I want to talk about. I'll just finish filming inside today because it is cold. Tomorrow is supposed to be a little bit warmer, and the weekend, for Easter weekend, is supposed to be really warm. So I'm not gonna put the top on it yet. It's not supposed to rain. So I'm gonna get this thing to the house, and I'll check back in here in just a second. All right, So we're back in the house now. It's a little warmer in here than it was outside. So got a little list. Total amount I used on the Jeep. That's a question I see all over the place. People say, how much Raptor line do I need to do this? 4 liters, did the inside of my YJ. 3.5 technically on the outside, but 4 would be better. That way you've got some to practice with. Don't do like me and practice on what you're actually doing it on. I did have a piece of cardboard. I kind of looked at the texture, and that was about as far as my testing went. So make sure you get 4, get you a little bit to test with and practice so you get your product done the way you want it to. The total cost was about $300. Mine was a little bit more, but to do 2 4-liter kits would be about $300. I think they're about 150 bucks. The black is usually a little bit cheaper than the tintable, but I'd say $300 for Raptor liner, maybe throw in another $50, $60 for tape, sandpaper, stuff like that. Should have you covered. One big thing to remember, for 72 hours, it has to stay dry. It can't be wet, can't get it in the rain, nothing like that. The day I sprayed the black, it was absolutely pouring the rain. So luckily I had a carport. I was underneath the carport and it didn't get dry, or it didn't get too wet. I let it sit there overnight, and then the next day I sprayed on Monday, sprayed the color, and it was actually sunny that day. So I was able to, as soon as I got done spraying it, I drove it down to a big shed and parked it inside because it was supposed to absolutely pour the rain the next day. So it's been 72 hours now. I've got it up here at the house. It's not supposed to rain for like another week, but it's good to go now if it does get wet. I'd probably give it the full cure time, which is 7 days before you wash it or anything. I said 3 days for light duty use, so you could probably go out and drive it, or if you're putting it in a truck bed, you could probably go ahead and put your toolbox and stuff back on it. But 7 days for total cure. That means you start throwing hammers in it and all that. Let's see. Oh, one thing I tried to research and I could not find anywhere was how long do you have to let it sit before you put tape on it and then not pull the tape off or pull the Raptor liner off. I just kind of went on a gamble. I give mine 24 hours and it was perfect. It was dry, put tape on it, and it didn't pull any off. So after 24 hours, you can put tape on it and it'll be good. As long as you prepped it right. 180 grit sandpaper. I used adhesion promoter plus the 180 grit, so it shouldn't go anywhere for a long time. Let's see, what else have we got here? Overspray. It's not like regular paint. It doesn't hang in the air and all that and get all over everything, but I did get a bunch of overspray on my windshield and all that whenever I sprayed my roll bar. Center console was covered in it. I didn't cover it up that well because I was like, oh, it ain't gonna get everywhere. Yeah, it got everywhere. So if you don't want Raptor on it, make sure you cover it up. A really good thing about that Raptor liner, you can touch it up. All you have to do is, instead of having to hook up the spray bottle and all that stuff again, just do your mixtures in the bottle, shake it up really good, and then you can pour it in a cup, get you a brush, dab it in there, and sit there and blot it, and it'll kind of give it that texture again. That's 4 touch-ups. You can roll it on too if you want to, but I probably wouldn't dab an entire vehicle. And let's see what else I got on here. Oh, if you want those really good crisp lines like what I got, I sprayed it, sprayed 2 coats, let it flash for an hour. Then I went back and sprayed 2 more coats and then pulled the tape off. Just automatically pulled it right off. Be careful and make sure you don't rip it off. But if you pull it off nice and slow, you get a really good crisp line. I just use Scotch Blues painter tape, so good stuff. If y'all liked the video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you like videos like this, let me know. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. And What do y'all think? Did I mess up my Jeep by Raptor lining it? I don't think so. I think it looks awesome. It's really gonna hold up well in the woods. I love that blue color. Oh, it's amazing. Actually, I can't stop looking at it. It looks so good in the sun. But anyway, y'all like this stuff, let me know. Got any comments? Throw it down there. I'll read them. I reply to all of them that I can, which I usually got like 2 or 3 comments per video. So, until next time, I'll see y'all later.